Hi again then guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 3 speed build, and this time it's for a very popular BMW model. The M3 in general is obviously a very popular performance car, but the E92 is one of the most popular. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the E30, the original, if you will, M3. This one though is very popular for obvious reasons. It's a fantastic performance car in every way, and on the game, especially when you upgrade it, it gets even better. Now, you, funnily enough, don't have the option of the full 1500 horsepower V12, but what you do have is a 1200 horsepower V10, which is a pretty good close second. Now, as far as the drivetrain, I would recommend even all-wheel drive. Some people may want to keep rear-wheel drive, but that's down to personal preference. As far as the aspiration, of course you want the twin-turbo, and as you can see, we do have a body kit made by Liberty Walk. As to whether you want that or not, it's down to personal preference. I personally think it looks fantastic on this car. Some people may not, so as I said, it's down to you. Likewise, of course, with rims, wings, that kind of stuff. If you like the way this one looks and you want to get this tune straight on your car, you can find it on my storefront. So just check out the keywords in the video description to find that quickly. But if you want to change stuff, of course, that's the purpose of this video. As far as the rest, fit everything that has race in the title. And as you can see, we do have a roll cage on this particular car. One of the relatively few modern cars which I have fitted that on. Now, as you can see, the numbers are very, very good. 1.9 to 60 is excellent. 4 seconds to 100 is pretty good. Top speed of 268 isn't exactly lacking, especially given that it doesn't have 1500 horsepower. 1200 isn't bad, but that extra 300 horsepower could make a big difference to this car. It would be a little heavier, but it would be interesting to see what kind of a difference that would make using Forza's physics to the top end speed. I reckon probably 272, maybe 273 out of it if it had that kind of power, but it's not an option. Now, as far as the gearbox, I would recommend, as you can see, a final drive of 3.2, then individual gears of 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.17, 0.95 and 0.78. Alignment, we've got neutral on camber and tow. If though you want to have some, of course you can, stance the car, whatever, but you just don't really need it on this model. I've gone for 5 degrees of caster for stiffening up the steering at higher speeds. You could go lower if you want it to be a bit more tail happy, or vice versa to go the other way. Anti-roll we've got on 33 and 21. Springs on 216 and 200, and I've opted for the lowest ride height front and rear. Dampers we've got on 15, 14 and 6. Aero doesn't apply unless you fit a racing wing, and I wouldn't recommend doing so. The diff we've got on 100% for acceleration, 0 for deceleration, and an 80% split in favour of the rear. So even though it is all-wheel drive, it's still very tail happy. If you find it to be a bit too drift happy, you could put it closer to, say, a 70% split. So change it as necessary. That's what these tunes are all about. They're not designed to be one tune for everyone. They're designed to be a tune that you can work from, to personalise it for you. That's why many of the settings that I use are very open to interpretation, such as neutral, camber and tow, so that you can change it if you want to, and it doesn't alter the tune that much in terms of straight line performance. So that is it for the basic setup, which, as I said, is also on the storefront. But the question is now, of course, how does it perform on the road? Now, as far as sheer straight line performance, a car like this is never going to have trouble. It's always going to be extremely fast. It's one of the quickest straight up sports coupes in the game. Excellent all-round performance is guaranteed with an M3 anyway, so once you upgrade it to all-wheel drive with a wide body kit and 1200 horsepower, it's only going to get better, and it does with this car. Drifting is fantastic in this vehicle with an 80% split to the back. Personally, I find it to be perfect. Some people may find it a bit too tail happy. As I said, I like the way it is, but you can change it if you want to. As far as top end performance, it gets up to that top speed pretty quickly. It's not necessarily Hennessy level or Koenigsegg level, of course not, but it gets there with no trouble at all. Now, as you can see from this video, when you do get up to around 268, it does bang up against the red line, so you don't really have any more top-end potential there as far as draft goes. Not that you would often need that potential, but when you do, you could extend the final drive a little bit more, or alternately extend final gear a little bit more. So If you want that bit of extra potential speed, it won't make the car quicker, but it'll allow it to go quicker with slipstream, then of course extend that. But that's it for this tune overall. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.